And you are live. Okay, Michael Gray Griffith here from Cafe Lockdown. These are called Tales from the Orwellian Marathon, which we are now in. This is Tammy Jane. I met Tammy Jane at the marches, but we're not here to talk about the marches. Tammy Jane, why don't you fill us in about who you are and what happened to you today?
Hi guys, I'm Tammy Jane. I live down in Melbourne, Australia, and we all know what's going on down here. It's pretty full on. Um, Over the last week, I've had a really challenging week, having many discussions with my bosses at my workplace. I was a full-time real estate agent in sales. And I've had quite a few discussions with them talking about the mandated vaccine and what it would do to my life and my children's life if I could no longer work. And I did point out to them many times that what I believe, and I know thousands of others believe as well, that what is rolling out is completely unlawful
Mm,
and goes against all human rights. And
absolutely.
and so I had these discussions with them. I think I had like 6, 7, 8 discussions in different phone calls, and one of them I even burst into tears, just saying I just can't believe the decisions people are making, right now, with outcasting people like myself. Um, and anyway, I got the final letter last night of being fired from my job because I will not vaccinate myself with the COVID-19 vaccination. And I've been through so many emotions. It's been a massive roller coaster. And I've already cried twice today. Massive meltdown this morning. So,
And what are you crying
yeah.
about exactly? I hate to be a pain. For anyone
No.
who's just coming in, Tammy Jane, and you're a single mother, right?
Yeah.
So you're a
Well,
single mother.
yeah. I was just
It's
going to say, like, I am here on my own in Melbourne. I do have a long distance relationship with someone in Queensland, but you could say a single mother
So
looking
you're
after my kids on
trapped.
my own.
You're trapped here in Melbourne. How many kids do you have?
um, I'm not really trapped in Melbourne. He's up there and I'm here, but
But
I
you
have
can't
two.
get there,
No, I can't. I can't
so
see
you're
him, and he
trapped.
can't. Yeah, he can't see me, and I can't see him, which is devastating. I've got 2 kids, so a 13
So
year
you got
old,
two kids, a
yeah,
13-year-old and
and a 10-year-old.
you got 13-year-old and a 10-year-old. You were a full-time real estate agent. This is everyone coming in now, and you've been telling him this is wrong all week. But last night you've been fired because you refused to take the COVID thing.
Yep.
Now, you said you've been crying, and this is for all the dummies out there, because I don't
Mm,
need to know why you're crying. But for the
yeah.
dummies out there, why don't you explain to them why you're so upset?
Oh, that's a big question. So many reasons. Um, I think, and I really want to try and feel into this and share from the heart. It's such a devastating and shocking and traumatic experience to be in this situation. Um, it's frightening to know that other humans are turning their back on other humans for the sake of money, really. That's what it boils down to in the end, saving themselves with money. I have found it extremely hurtful. I thought that certain people cared about me. I've lost friends, I've lost family, now I've lost my job, I've lost trust
You've lost
in,
family.
yeah, yeah. I don't want to go into that too much on
No, no,
here,
but
but
simply because they don't agree. Yeah,
some
it's
of
just
that,
in.
yeah, some of that, and you know, I think it's just such a hard time for people to connect if you're in a different frame of mind. It's
Mm,
causing great divide,
mm.
and so many people I know, it's happened to them as well. They've lost family and friends and stuff. Um, you know, I I have been extremely emotional through this whole ordeal, because I just find it so shocking that we are trapped the way we are trapped here in Melbourne. We are like prisoners in our own state, and we have got so many human rights being stripped away from us. And the thing that hurts me the most is it feels like so many people are just sitting back and complying and just watching and allowing this to happen to other humans, right? Like, I find I'm shaking talking about it because it makes me feel extremely unsafe in my community, knowing that I'm surrounded by so many compliant people who aren't brave enough or don't even think that anything's wrong with what's going on. You know, to have a government that thinks that it can take over your body and put whatever it likes into your body against your will, like try and break you down and strip you down to having nothing and drive you to the poverty line, because that's where I'm heading now. If I can't, you know, find somewhere who will employ an unvaccinated person, you know, to have a government doing that is just tyrannical and out of control. And I worry for our future, and I worry for our children's futures if this can continue on the way it's going and people aren't going to rise up and stand up against it, because once they realise they can do this to us, it will not, I believe, it will not be the end of it. It will be the start of something really dark. And, you know, I think we're in really dangerous times. I really do. This is like a crossroad for us as humans. It really is. And we can decide whether we're going to head down the track of being completely controlled by our governments to the point they can put whatever they like in our bodies, or we can take back our sovereignty and really stand up for our human rights and create a different future. Like that's how I feel right now. And it's so strong, like I'm shaking now talking to you, Michael, because this is it's a significant time in history, and it could go either way right now. I can feel that, and it's really frightening to think that it could go the way of losing all of our human rights, you know, going forward. Yeah. It's unreal. Like, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Like, I'm just in shock, and I did a call out this morning in my group. I've got a Facebook group, Self Sovereignty District, and I put a post in there this morning, and I just burst into tears, just begging for everyone to come back to their hearts and stop being stuck in your head, in your fear, and to everyone to really start sharing their true emotions. You know,
what was the reply to that?
Oh, everyone is just outcrying and just, you know, pouring out love through their hearts and pouring out support, and, you know, they just can't believe what's happening. People were crying as they were watching my video. They couldn't believe it because, you know, I just broke down and just was practically just begging the human race to come back to feeling, you know, from here. Because if you're able to comply to this and you're able to sit back and watch other people lose all of their human rights, I'll tell you now, you are not connected to your heart. You're not.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, why are you sitting in your car? Why aren't you in your house?
Because my son is inside. He's homeschooling. And I don't want him to hear any of this because I'm trying to protect him from all of this, you know. So I've been going to rallies and doing activism work. I've got my group that I'm doing. I've been doing so many things. I've been shot at. I've been pepper sprayed. I went home covered in burns.
When you were pepper sprayed and shot, they say that they were calling us Nazis. Did you see many Nazis in the march?
No. I do believe that there is probably, I've seen the same 5 men in amongst the crowd that I think they're not good people. They're the cowards that stand out back and they throw bottles from back in the crowd. And then they get innocent people who are there for the right reasons, that they get hurt because they're on the front line begging and trying to get the police to listen and have some empathy and compassion. And then they're the ones that get hurt because of the cowards out the back. But I can tell you,
who might be plants anyway.
yeah, exactly. They could be. Sometimes I feel like they are.
Yeah. How would we know? Because we're not organised. We're not. No. Can I just ask you? Let's talk about empathy and compassion, because at the moment, I see there's two groups of people. There's the ones that have it, and there's the ones that don't.
Yeah.
And they just don't. I have people talking to me how they've said to people, you look about the shooting on the Shrine, and then they go, I don't care. I think they don't care. So there seems to be, I don't know if that's always been the way people are, that there's this group of people that don't particularly give a toss. But here you are, as the single mother, and you don't want this thing in your body, because you want the freedom of choice to choose what goes into your body. Now,
Absolutely.
let's be honest here, because there's no holes barred anymore. What's the difference between that and me being your boss going, well, if you want the job, you need to give me a head job? What's the difference?
There's no difference.
There's no difference.
No.
And yet Harvey Weinstein's in jail forever. And if the women did that for him, they ended up with Oscars and a multi-million-dollar career. All you get is ending up keeping your real estate job.
Yeah.
And so that's the reality. It's basically that's the reality, and I think it's an enormous freedom to fight for. I'm baffled most of the time, or astonished that people are having to fight for this thing that we've been fighting for years for women.
Yeah.
You know, for years and years, decades and decades, all the feminist movements, everyone, my body, my choice, my body, my choice. Suddenly here we are with no, it's not. You know, now you're selfish.
Yeah.
Now you're self-centered. Now you don't care.
Yeah.
What? You know, so, you know, and now all these anti-bullying stance, and now they are promoting bullying. You know,
Exactly.
Now they are bullying, and it is, and all for something. And this is the truth. 99% of us, 99 point something percent of us can get over without knowing it. And at the moment, and they keep admitting it, most of the people in hospital who are dying of it are vaccinated.
I know.
They're saying that, not us. It's not a conspiracy theory. They're saying it. They're vaccinated. So get vaccinated, but now you know you can spread it. They know if you have the vaccination, you can spread it as much. We had a woman contacted me. Her 19-year-old son went back to school, double vaccinated. Ended up, someone in the class had COVID maybe, and now he has to self-isolate in his own bedroom, like complete isolation for 2 weeks. So his mental health, spiritual health is just like, I hope he does all right. But the thing is, it's insane.
Yeah.
So there's no point. You vaccinated, unvaccinated, we're all dealing the same. They're just trying to divide us for some other reason, and they're just determined to get this stuff in our veins, even though they're coming out now and saying it's not really working. It's not really working. Yeah, but get it in your veins no matter what. If you fight for freedoms like you've been doing, Dan Andrews, I got it here. Look, where is it? Here he says, in fact, you'd be surprised at how much can be avoided if people stop insisting on their personal freedoms, because insisting on human rights is not only selfish, it's stupid. The first bit of that is what you would expect a communist Chinese leader to say. Stop insisting on your personal freedoms. We're getting stuff done. You don't count. And yet that's the difference between our society and the Chinese society. So we do have freedoms, and you have to negotiate with us, and we have to debate and talk our way through this. That's what our whole system is about. And now they're going with this. I can't understand how people can't. I do believe that people can actually see what's happening. I think they've just given in and thought, there's always people, there's always bosses. What can you do? Just adapt. But you're doing that. You're sacrificing everyone, not just us, your children, your children's children. And this is it. This is actually a real fight for freedom now. And the freedom starts, the most the most basic freedom is choice. And people say, what price of freedom? This is the price of freedom. You sitting in your car, not wanting your son to hear the truth, wondering what the hell is going to happen.
Yeah. And you know, sorry, go.
And we can't help
Yeah.
because we're in the same thing. But that's it. What you have now is freedom. Your integrity is this. But finally, for our community, freedom comes at a cost. And the cost is this horrible feeling that you're almost a leper. But you're not.
Yeah.
You're not alone. You are not alone. And I'll tell you, everyone's coming on here with these comments and stuff. There's 265 people here now. If we'd mentioned it, if we'd given more time, there would be a lot more. I would just want to capture you as you are now, but you're not alone. And maybe that's the way we've got to do. We've got to come together, form communities, look after each other.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I just want everyone to know who is listening that I personally know people who, like, know someone not far from themselves. So, like, you know, a friend or a friend of a friend. And one story I heard not long ago is one of my friends, their sister's brother or something, had the vaccine, and he then got paralyzed from the waist down. Another story that I was told from a friend is one of their friends got the vaccination and went blind for a week. Now, I personally have done an interview. You'll see it on my personal Facebook feed because I'm doing independent media work for free. I personally interviewed 2 nurses last weekend at one of the rallies. And you will hear in that interview those nurses telling us that they're walking off the job. There are many nurses walking off the job. They are going to be replaced by nurses from overseas. And these nurses have witnessed things such as code blues being called in the hospital. So code blue is like emergency, come here right now, to the vaccination clinic area because of someone being vaccinated and having a really dangerous reaction. And it's a code blue reaction. This nurse said that in the interview with me. And
if you have that, I'll share it on
I
my
have
page.
that. I have that.
Yeah, I'll share it. I'll share it.
And
Let's get it up.
Also, the nurse also said that she witnessed, it was either 13, 14 or 15-year-old, I can't remember, don't quote me on it, it's in the interview, 13-year-old to say, come in after having the vaccination, having severe breathing issues. And she said, she believes it's got to do with the vaccine. And she said, but it will be brushed off as an anxiety issue. And that's how they're dealing with these things. So we've got nurses who are speaking up. And these nurses also said that the nurses and doctors have all been silenced and threatened by, I think it's like the APRA, APRHA or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so they've all been silenced and threatened to not speak up. So if you go and see your GP and you want to have information about the vaccine, the effects of it, what it can do to you, all that kind of stuff, they cannot tell you anything negative at all without risking their practice. And these nurses told me this live on this video. And I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing in regards to finding the truth, seeking the truth, shedding light on the truth of what's really going on right now. Because what have I got to lose? You know, like I'm losing all my human rights anyway. So
well, you could always come and help us at Cafe Lockdown. We need brave this.
Yeah, I'd love to.
We talked about it at a march, and I'm so glad you got back in touch because this is all we can do is try. The other day I had there was a doctor in Colac who this woman's just put it here, Rebecca Cumming, APRA. APRA was going to basically deregister this doctor because he's not following the narrative. And so he started issuing exemptions to anyone who turned up. He had 300 carloads of people out there. Then they shut it down. I believe he's going to be deregistered now. Now, all the media in the area and people are calling him, even though he's been their doctor for years, they're just attacking him like a pack of dogs. So you've got a load of people on this side that see him almost like a Schindler because he's throwing away his career for what he believes. And
Yeah.
then these people, and that's where we are right now. Right now, they change it. So you actually are free. So you've got the freedom of choice, and you're paying for the freedom. The benefit is what are you going to do? But you've got that. But people now see freedom as I've complied, so I'm free, which is not. So
It's
freedom does the actual proper word they're using now doesn't mean freedom. They've swapped the words. The same with integrity.
yes.
Integrity now means cowardice and compliance.
Mm.
Where integrity actually means no, I'm going to stand my ground and I'm not going to be bullied into what I'm doing, like that doctor. But now that's called cowardice. So they're changing the entire language and everything. It's
Yeah.
insane, and it's happening right now. That's why I'm calling these things. And I think what you interviewed the nurse is perfect. Is it's an Orwellian marathon. That's what
Mm.
we're going through. 1984, and everything we've all read about is being installed right now in our time around us. You know,
Yeah.
we're being kicked out of work. Uh, Freedom's just stripped away, and they're just changing our language and turning us on each other. And the
Yeah.
only way we can fight back, because you can't protest anymore, you can't do this. The only way to fight back is to refuse to hate, is to refuse to give in,
Yeah.
and stick together. And you've got so many people here sending you great words of power.
Mm.
Oh yeah, like here, look, see, on the news yesterday they said this Dr. Colic was a fake doctor. This is the media. So we've got the media
Yeah.
lying now, like outrageously lying. So he wasn't a
Yeah.
fake doctor at all. And
Yeah.
so that's the only thing we can do is to stay strong like a lovely community and support and help each other. And that doesn't mean only the unvaxxed. What it means is people who don't want what's coming, whether you're vaxxed or unvaxxed.
Yeah.
If you don't want this draconian future they're giving us, then come together and form a community that says, no, we don't want this, because this is our country, not theirs. I mean, we never voted for this at an election. You know,
Absolutely.
we haven't voted for this in a referendum or a plebiscite or anything. They're just telling us this is how it's going to be, and that's an authoritarian rule. So,
Yeah.
you know, we've got every right to fight back.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
I wish I
Uh,
could give you a hug. I feel so sorry for you. I think
thank
everybody here
you.
does. I really do. I
Yeah.
really do. And I know how
Yeah.
tough you are because I saw you climbing over fences to get away from the police. On the bridge, I think I saw you. And they
You
were,
did. Yeah. And
and
then
we had,
running and
and
hiding
we had,
behind trucks from rubber bullets. And, oh, it's just crazy. The whole
yeah,
thing.
it was. And that was
Uh,
crazy then. It just keeps getting crazier. And now we're
mm,
in this immensely crazy time, you know?
mm, yeah.
And it'd be really interesting to see. I mean, you've got all these people here that are like-minded now, but there's people out there who probably wouldn't mind if you were dragged out into the street and taken off to a camp.
I
And they're
know. And
probably
that's the
going, "Oh
scary
yeah, well,
thing.
good." You know,
Yeah.
there's actually people in our community who would probably help point them out. I know where she lives. There,
Yeah.
take her.
Yeah.
And
Oh, look.
that's what's
Uh,
scary. They're more scary than even the ones enforcing it.
yeah.
You
Well, they
know?
are. They are really scary because, um, they've completely detached themselves from being human for starters. So that really frightens me.
Mm.
And I do get them like on my live streams and everything. I do get some pretty insulting comments. And even in my personal inbox, I'll have people threatening and insulting me. And it's like,
Yeah, same.
they think that I'm out here just for myself. And it's so
Yeah,
far
same.
from the truth. Like,
Same.
you know, we're here doing this kind of work, aren't we, Michael?
Yeah.
Because of the human race for
Yeah,
everyone,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I mean, I was
Uh,
on the verge of having some real success with theatre. If I just kept my mouth shut, I could have been. But yeah, how can you keep your mouth shut with this shit going on?
oh,
You
you
know,
can't.
you just
Yeah,
can't do it. It's a time of sacrifice, unfortunately. You know,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty full on. And something that worries me too, and I want everyone to be really aware of it, because I am out there doing live streaming for media, independent.
Oh, yeah,
What's
this
come
is
out?
important.
Yeah, what's coming out now is so in Victoria, you have to be authorised by VicGov to be able to go out and work, right? So now what they're doing is they're changing the rules to you cannot even be authorised unless you are vaccinated. So anyone who is in media who's not vaccinated will not be authorised or allowed to go out and live stream anything that's happening in any of our cities in our country. So we're only going to have people out there who are complying with the government, complying to the rules, to bring out the information of what's really happening out there. So I'm sorry, but to me, that's dangerous. It really
Dangerous.
is.
Oh my God! Talk about censoring the me. Basically, they're
Yeah,
just attacking any. They're like look today. There was someone sent me a thing last night. I can't find it now. It was a protest in Sandringham about some road or something. Lots of people everywhere. Herald Sun takes a picture of the politician. No police, nothing, no problem at all. If there'd been a few nurses there sitting on the beach separated with white t-shirts on and masks, they would have had busloads of police. They
yeah,
are crushing dissent. They are
yeah,
terrorizing the community and saying, do not rise up or we will crush you. That's what they're doing. And now with this is what they trying to get rid of, is they're trying to get rid of the people like Rukshan and
yeah.
Avi and anyone else. We have a young man coming on today, Joel Gilmore.
Oh
Anyone
well, I work
else?
with Joel. I work with Joel
Oh,
in
okay.
this. Yeah,
Yeah. So Joel
yeah,
Gilmore and
yeah,
we got him on tonight, and
yeah.
he's taken some amazing footage. Joel Gilmore and
Mm.
Anthony Burge is a very good friend of mine. He does the same, and that's it. They're trying to get rid of those because they don't
Yeah,
want the truth out there. They don't want
that's
the
right.
world to see the truth. They just want the world to see Channel 7, which is basically their propaganda machine. The
Yeah.
little guy with the bald head at just Channel 7. I mean, my God, I don't. Obviously, he's a sociopath because he is. There's no other feeling than he's just enjoying the limelight. But he's. I don't see him as a journalist at all. He doesn't. I actually talking to him at a thing saying, "Why don't you do any true stories? Look what's happening here. They're shooting people. Didn't want to know. Didn't want to
Yeah,
know. He just wanted to see protesters doing bad. So
yeah.
that's how it is.
And then he wonders why when he's out there, because I've seen it. I've seen him out there in real life, and I've
Mm,
seen how people respond to him when they see him on the street, and they don't like him at all. You know, and he
no.
has been verbally attacked. He has been had something thrown at him once in the back of his head, and then he plays this sad sob story that he's being attacked this way, but like how can he expect anything else when the media that he's putting out there is completely false and it's not helping anyone. It's actually causing the divide between the people to become bigger and bigger, and
That's right.
that kind of media is there for one agenda only, and it is to
Yeah.
divide us. That's it. you know
Rukshan's had the jab, so they can't stop him.
oh
There's
wow,
a
okay.
so, but yeah, but that's that's right. They're actually well, they're just money corporations now. They want money for advertising, so whatever whoever's paying the advertising, guess gets the media.
Yeah,
So I think that's why people are flocking to things like Rebel News and RV and all these others to
yeah,
try actually see the real media, to
yeah.
see what's going on because they just don't trust Channel 9 or any of these things anymore, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
if people want to see raw live footage tomorrow, follow me on Facebook, because I will be there and I'll be there on the front line,
Okay.
filming it all as an authorised media worker. So, yeah, and I do get some pretty raw footage. I'm not afraid to get right in there. To
I will concur with that. She's not
Yeah.
afraid.
So, and I think people who are sitting on the fence and they're feeling confused about what's going on because of what they're seeing on the news, on the TV and stuff. If we can get some more of those people following everyday people like myself and Rukshan and Avi, out on the battlefield showing raw footage, not edited footage, then we're going to be able to swing more people into the truth. you know, and
What's
shed
your
more
Facebook
light.
link? So people are
Um,
asking
I
for it.
think it's Tammy Jane Heals. I think. I don't know. I'll have to
Is
find
that
it.
your personal page, or have you got a Facebook page?
No, personal page. Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
I've got it here. Hold on.
You found it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can follow me,
Okay.
guys, and
Hey
then you'll
everybody,
see.
I'm putting it in the chat, so you can just click on that and send her a friend request.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And I think that's what needs to happen. And the scary part is, like I said before, from the 22nd onwards, only vaccinated media are going to be allowed out there. But good to know Rukshan's out there. That's
yeah.
good news. Yeah, because he is amazing. He's actually who inspired me to do what I did, go live and stay live for hours. He's just an incredible human.
Yeah,
Absolutely
he is.
incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
So lucky
Yeah,
to have him. Yeah.
totally agree.
Yeah.
And yeah, so be interesting, very very interesting to see. Um, okay, well my heart bleeds for you. I can still hear your strength. I think this is a who knows what will happen in this moment of history. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. It's
There's yeah.
definitely a turning point. You know, we're at a fork in a road, and anything's possible from here. It really is.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
I would recommend you set up your own Facebook page, like we've got a page here, because we can all interlink.
yeah.
And then there's Rumble, where because YouTube is getting we got a 7-day ban on YouTube, which finishes Saturday,
Oh,
because someone mentioned the V word last Saturday. We don't know what it is, and they gave us a 7-day ban. And so now we're going to another thing called Locals as well. So it's just getting out and spreading it out, Twitter, and spreading it out. So they shut down one, people can still access it via other ways. But it's basically becoming a counter culture. That's what we're setting up now. This is a counterculture news, eventually there'll be counterculture music,
yeah.
and everything like that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank
but
you so much for reaching out to me and
no
having me
problem,
on here and having
no
a
problem.
platform, you know, where we can do this. It's really courageous of you, because I know it puts
Thanks.
a target on your back.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah, big time. So
Yeah,
yeah.
but look, this is how we have to do it. So we've got the streamers, we can come here, we can talk. We've got the people. I think there's a lot of people talking to experts, but I think people are over facts. You're either sold or you're not sold by now. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? But
exactly.
now now what we're finding is not for what's the actual truth or where it came from. Now we're finding for what you actually want.
Yeah.
What you actually want as a future for you, your children, and your children's children. Because at the moment, what they're offering you is this: tyranny,
Yeah.
censorship, violence if you dare rise up and try to stop it. That's what they're offering your kids. What we're doing, even though we don't have any of what they have, we're offering you the freedoms you were born with, tolerance, kindness, and just everything that's good, and
Yeah.
inclusion. That's what we're thinking, a non-segregated community. So we're
Yeah.
offering everything we had. They're offering everything we don't want. And our souls, most of our souls, do not exist well in a world that they're offering. So you're going to have
Absolutely
to live
not.
a lie your whole life. You're going to have to lie. You're going to have to say you want the vaccination even if you don't want it. Every time they give a booster shot, you're just going to have to lie and lie and lie. And every time you say this is freedom, you're going to know it's not going to be freedom. You're going to be lying. And look up anything about living under those sort of regimes, because history is full of them. That's what they'll tell you. You have to constantly be living this lie, poker face, don't let anyone see you got any problems, or these brown shirts will dob you in, and who knows what they'll do.
Yeah.
Or you can fight.
That's right. And I
You can
think,
fight.
yeah, I think like your body is where you draw the line.
That's it.
You
That's
know,
the
if
line
you,
in the sand.
yep, if you cannot own your own body and what happens to your own body, you're in a lot of trouble. So, you know, I think you have to draw the line at that point, no matter what it costs. Do
Well, look,
not hand
same
your
with the
body
flu
over.
shot.
Yeah.
When I used to work for the Man, they turn up with just a bin full of flu shots, and if you wanted it, you just walked in and got it, and they ticked off your name. that wasn't an issue. You want to take it, take it. You don't want to take it, don't take it. No one gave a shit. If that was the same now, there wouldn't be an issue.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now, this way they're doing it now, it's insane.
It is.
It's insane. And
Yeah.
the amount of economy they're destroying, amount of lives they're destroying, amount of families they're destroying, and it's all to keep you safe. Who feels safe? The few people out there who feel safe, the rest of us are having our lives destroyed. Look at you sitting in a car, you know, trying to pick yourself back up again. But I believe you will. I believe you're very strong. I've seen you getting over a high fence while being shot at. I have every faith that you're going to get through this.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. I just like this morning when I was talking to my people in my group, I said, for all the people that stay in their integrity, stay in their truth, stay in their honor, stay in their heart, stay in their core beliefs, no matter what is thrown at them and no matter what is taken from them. The natural law is there will have to be something good, so good, for those people at the end of it. That's natural law. So as painful as it is right now, what we're going through, the pain can't last forever. It can't just keep going the way it is. And there will have to come a time when we are gifted back for standing in our truth this whole time, no matter how much we sacrificed. And I just think it's so important that we do this right now, guys. I really do.
It's the fight of our lives.
Yeah, it is.
It's not just for our lives, for our kids. This is our fight. This is it. This is it. I don't know how it happened, but as far as I see it, this is it. Anybody wants to follow Tammy Jane, I've put up her Facebook link in the comments. You'll find it. I'll put it up again. Join her. Make sure her friend list is full up. And she's going to be doing live streams. Follow them, share them. And she's doing God's work. It's good work. It's good work.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael. Same to you.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
I hope this. And everybody, share this everywhere. Share it. Let the world see, the whole world, what they're doing to young single mums here, trying to destroy their lives because they're trying to defend their freedom of what goes into their body, their freedom of choice. It's absolutely wrong on every level. It's not right. It's absolutely wrong. So share it. Let people know.
Thank you, Michael.
I'll see you soon, Tammy. Stay in touch.
Okay, lots of love.
Stay there. 2 seconds.
Okay.
Stay there. See you, everybody.